They woke us up this morning telling us that they're gonna do a clean sweep and that to grab what we can and to get out because they were taking everything else. They take our food, they took all my underclothes, they took all my shoes. They leave us with no resources, so we're stuck here until we can manage to get something to eat or clean water or whatever it is, because they don't care. I've been here 4 years in the river, and they've done this to me 3 times already. Everybody gets to arguing, and everybody gets to fighting, and your relationship falls apart. Your family falls apart. I was a manager of a laundromat. The minute COVID hit, the owner, he was gone. Took all the money from all the machines. He left me there with nothing. Well, I lost my job, I lost my house. It's mainly me and my family, my son, my boyfriend, my friend. This is our home right here, like, because we're together. I feel like I'm the mom. Everybody comes to me like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't know anymore. If we don't stick together, we won't make it.
Over the last decade here in Los Angeles, houselessness has exploded. The city has made the choice to use criminalization and sweeps as the answer to houselessness. Criminalization, in the most simple sense, is the use of laws and policies and regulation to arrest, displace, and banish poor people from places that government does not want to see them.
I cannot answer the question as to why Los Angeles or any other locality would still be using a criminalization model. It clearly does not work. Los Angeles has the most unhoused people, and for many, many years was using the most punitive criminalization measures. And then if you put the institutional racism on top of that, Black folks are something like 7 or 8 times overrepresented in the unhoused community.
Most people, when they hear the word sweeps, they think like sweeping the sidewalks is a great thing, but sweeping an encampment, this entails scores of police, heavy industrial equipment. Where else in the world would one use a bulldozer to remove a camping tent?
People are gonna be sitting on the side of the curb trying to figure out how they're gonna get money to buy a stick of deodorant. This is very violent. You have a man that have a whole mechanic shop out here, and you guys just bulldoze people's stuff away like it don't mean nothing. He wants his ladder. I understand, we told you this time. He wants his ladder, man.
Once we actually understand the purposes of a sweep, and that purpose is not to help get the individual into housing, then we understand that there's something really broken with this system.
Want some Narcan? Joanna brought me a whole box again. And they're good until 2026. That's good. I'm not a drug addict. I don't want to do it. But then again, I can't turn my back. That's one thing I won't never do, is turn my back on somebody who needs stuff like this. I've been doing it for the 24, going next month will be 25 years that I've been living out here. Now we have to move. I get it that they want to fix this up and that's why we have to leave, but we're not gonna be able to come back. Have had all this stuff. They're gonna fence it. They're gonna put a fence here so that nobody can come in here to stay. We are a community. Where you see a group of the homeless people, that's community. Thank you for coming. They're all set up near each other, that's community. But see, they don't see it that way. They don't see that we actually can protect each other. I became homeless after I lost my house due to a fire. I was on the freeway and I was moving it. I was coming over here to LA. All of a sudden I started getting tunnel vision. And I went to the doctor and I was shaking. I was really shaking so much that He just stood there looking at me, and he knew that it was the Parkinson's. I can feel that he wants to act up. I'm not young anymore, so I really wish I had my own place that would help me with not only getting off the streets, but it would also help me with my medical problems. If I start to shake, at least it will be in private, not in a tent.
So we do a lot of outreach at the Grand. We haven't done around the building though yet, so that's why we're talking, because there's a lot of unhoused people right here. People get lost, like when they look at somebody that's unhoused, they just see this like drug addicted, damaged person. They don't ever look at somebody like, oh, they have a family. Is that some down there?
Yeah.
Down there, huh?
How much is it?
It's free. Yeah. Pretty much most of Los Angeles is like a paycheck away from being unhoused. You could lose your job, lose a spouse, have something traumatic happen, and maybe lose your mind for a moment. It could happen to anybody. I've met lawyers. I have a friend who used to be a nurse. It's the worst feeling in the world to have somebody walk by you like you're not even there. So yeah, we should stay right here, like along this fence. So you can tell where mine is, because see where the cutout is? That hole right there? Yeah. We had that hole. And I lived right there for the majority of the time that I was unhoused. Close to 7 years. Right there with us. Every Tuesday, all of that area would get swept. It would be like half the police force was out there. Like, are you kidding me? And the minute like 8 o'clock hit, they would throw up the tape, and if you didn't have one thing, you lost it. Like, they didn't care. They'd throw your shit away and like not even think twice about it. I had a lot of personal family photos. Things from my dad who had passed away, and they got swept. It was like super demeaning, you know? And you know, I sat in that space really for a really long time when I was unhoused. Like I was undeserving of doing better.
So, of course, the effects of criminalization on houseless people, it's a horrible disruption.
When they start off, they don't come and just unzip your tent and walk in. No, start off with a razor blade and you slice your tent down the middle. Killing your tent right there, it ain't no good no more.
So they're there to specifically take our personal belongings and throw it away. So I'm like, it's not a cleanup.
They took this woman's urn of her mother and her ashes. And I mean, the scream of that woman, we yelled and screamed, it was like somebody was taking her baby away from her.
This last sweep, I lost everything from my personal belongings to electronic devices, ID, everything. So, you know, I have to start over pretty much all over again.
And it's a traumatic event, like every week. Every week we have to go through this.
I went overseas and I fought for my country. I've watched a couple of people die before theirs. And I can't even walk on it or live on it or lay on it. That's the slap in the face.
When you're on the street, you feel like completely isolated. Even though you're around a bazillion people, you're like alone in your head. Makes it very hard to get your feet back on the ground. And that fucks with your head after a while. I don't know. It's like really, really cruel. I got lucky because I network, and I was the lucky one that they had one space for a woman. I got a Chinatown container home. The sadness from not having a place went away, and then I became sadder because I'm by myself. I do this every day. Because I could be in my little room, my heater, my air conditioning, but what the point is that if my heart's right here with my family and friends? They should have took us all together. She just ate a whole bowl of food. Because my son, my boyfriend, my friend, my daughter-in-law, they're all out here still. I'm not leaving them like that. I'm the mom. Since we can't afford to buy clothes all the time, we sell everybody's old hoodies, jackets. What would I like? I would like everybody to get off the streets and some kind of housing and not have to be like this. It's not right. So I go home, I come back. I go home, I'm the mom. I have to come back.
What are you guys up to?
They're chasing us out of here. They're gonna take us on a bus, 3 of us, with our stuff, to the motel. I couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking about what's gonna happen today, because I had to get rid of stuff, and you could only take so much. We'll give you 60-gallon bags, 2. Whatever you fit in that is what you can take to the room.
Emergency housing is really, really expensive. The one that's most unsustainable is the use of motel rooms. Paying $140, $180 per night. We're talking thousands of dollars per person to live in these motel rooms, and it is absolutely not sustainable. It comes at the expense of people's lives and at the expense of permanent housing options that could have been invested in with that same amount of funding.
So if it really was for, 60, 90 days and then they keep moving on, that could work. But that's not the way it happens because we have no place for people to go.
Feels isolated. Yeah, I feel like I'm very isolated here because, the rules are that you can't go visit your friends, the ones that came with me over here that I convinced to come over here. They even make you sign a form saying that you promised that you weren't going to be going to room.
And they're in the same hotel, right?
Yeah,
Right.
they're above me. To me, it's more of a prison. It's more of a prison, but with a revolving door that we can come out here and get fresh air or whatever. I wish I could get somehow the right help that would help me find a place cheap enough for me to afford, that I'll be able to live there at peace on a permanent basis.
Housing is a human right. Fight. Essential.
I could never do the work I do if I wasn't in housing. I was on the street for about 6+ years, and I finally got my housing voucher. I have a great landlord who has already worked with Section 8 and helped me get in here. They take 30% of whatever income you get. So if you get no income, then you don't pay anything. When I first moved in, I wasn't full-time working yet. My rent was $10 a month. And now I'm paying like $1,200, and they pay the difference. I've always had a shoe thing, but now I have a bigger shoe thing. When I got into my own place, it was, oh my God, I'm me again. It was huge. And then I got offered the job like 2 months into getting my housing. Now being inside, every time I see my mom, she sends like a box of pictures and gives me a lot of old photos, like those black and white ones of family. And so I decided to litter my walls with them. When I came here, I secluded for the longest time because I was just like soaking it all up. It was huge. So like not have to worry about your stuff getting stolen or whether you can go to sleep or not because you're gonna be safe. My calendar is nuts. That's what my calendar looks like. It just made me fight even harder to like keep my job and make sure that I don't lose it.
Permanent housing. It is the only solution to homelessness, both for individuals and for our region.
The solutions are right at our fingertips, but the political will does not exist.
Because it's about the appearance versus the solution.
If we had real budget hawks, you would say those strategies that push people everywhere are actually more expensive.
Every piece of research will show you that permanent supportive housing is really, really effective.
The only way that this is fixed is that we're building housing in every community.
It's the investment that any industrialized and wealthy country besides the United States has made, and we need to make it.
Hi, my name is Sonia Verdugo, and I'm an organizer. My work means everything to me. Since council member, I could never maintain my job right now if I was on the street. There's no way. It's probably the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. I feel like I'm part of the push to make the difference somewhere down the road. It's got to start somewhere, and I think that people in LA are tired of seeing how things are, and they're ready to fight.